please. You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may put your hand down, sir. Mr. Lozoya, you were charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon in a motor vehicle. Well, it's my understanding that you have an agreement with the state on how to dispose of this charge. Before I do that, I need to explain to you your rights. You heard me say it momentarily in Ms. Maldonado's case, but I'll repeat it specifically for you. First of all, you have the right to remain silent. That means you do not have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit written paperwork, particularly papers that admit or confess to wrongdoing. You have the right to a jury trial. That means you and your attorney would have the right to participate with the state and select 6 people from a panel of disinterested citizens that would be hearing all of the evidence in your trial. They would decide, the 6 would decide whether you have been found proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt or whether you've been found not guilty. You also have the right to confront witnesses. If there is a trial, any witness that would testify, you and your attorney would have the right to question, cross-examine, or challenge those witnesses. Also, you have the right of appeal. The right of appeal is a difficult right. It's an important right. It is a right wherein you or your attorney or the 2 of you together could demand that a higher court review the official record and evidence in this proceeding and matter for whatever legal challenge you wanted to make. You'd have to be careful because there's requirements of form and substance on the paperwork and time limitations also. However, that is a significant right. Also, there's a right to demand that this proceeding be held in the open public courtroom. Because of the COVID pandemic, we're not doing that. But it requires, if you want to proceed, that you review and sign a document titled Defendant's Consent to Video Conference. Do you understand the rights that I have explained to you, and have you heard them and read them during this proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Did you, in any documents that are in this proceeding that you have signed, did you review them with the help of your attorney, Ms. Kramer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you've acknowledged that, well, do you acknowledge that you did sign the video conference consent?
Yes, sir.
Also, there's a critical document that's titled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. That document in particular reviews and says that you acknowledge the different rights and protections that we have discussed verbally, but that document reviews it in writing. It also tells you other things, including that any deal that you make with the state is not binding on me as the judge. As the judge, I have the authority and responsibility to say yes or no to your plea bargain deal. I also have the authority to punish you for whatever plea that you enter on whatever charge. There is a range of punishment for the charge that you have. It's a fine from $0 to $4,000 and jail from 0 days to 1 year. That range of punishment, I can give you any punishment within that range, even if my punishment is heavier than what you've agreed to. However, if I reject your deal outright, I just say, no, I'm not accepting it. Or if I give you a punishment in any way heavier or greater than what you agreed to, the law would allow you to start all over again, and nothing that you've said or signed up till now would be used against you. That's included in the document that I'm referring to. Did you read and understand that document?
Yes, sir.
Another document of importance is I shouldn't say that, they're all important, but another document is a certification of your right of appeal. This is a certification where I, as a judge, tell you that because you're doing a plea bargain, in other words, you're making a deal, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You either make a deal or you don't. If you make a deal, then you will not have a right of appeal. Did you see and understand that document and sign it?
Yes, sir.
Now, what type of probation is he going to get, ladies, or Ms. Pollard?
Judge, on this one, it is deferred.
Okay. Mr. Lozoya, you have been blessed to have your attorney get you an agreement for deferred adjudication. That means that you have signed documents asking me to give you a special kind of probation, a community supervision. That probation is the essence, or the critical part is that even though there will be your plea and evidence that shows you're guilty, I will not find you guilty. Instead, I will postpone or defer that finding. There will be punishments and requirements on your part. If you live up to 100% of the conditions of supervision, then the case will be dismissed and you're not convicted. Under Texas law, you will not be considered convicted of this charge. No conviction. If you screw up and you fail or refuse to live up to all of the conditions, then the state may ask you to give you official notice, bring you in for a hearing. And if, in my opinion, it's appropriate, then I will make a finding of guilt, convict you forever, and you will be subject to the entire range of punishment. Fine, $0 to $4,000, jail, 0 days to 1 year. Is all that clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
To the charge of unlawfully carrying a weapon in a motor vehicle, how do you plead, sir?
Oh,
Judge, it was a few days ago. We discussed this last week. Remember, Alfred, I discussed with you pleading no contest, since right now the judge will not be entering a finding of guilt.
yes. No contest.
Very good, sir. I accept your plea of no contest. And I repeat, a no contest plea in this court is considered a guilty plea, and it's sufficient for me to convict you right here and now. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
I find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, including your own plea, but I do not. I am honoring the agreement that has been reached between you and the state on this charge. You are granted deferred adjudication. Ms. Pollard, give me the specifics of the punishment, please.
Judge, on this one, it is 12 months deferred. 30 hours of community service, a Crime Stoppers organization fee of $50, monthly UAs, a gun safety course, forfeiture of the weapon, and this is to run concurrent with 2020 CR 5196.
That is the agreement, Judge.
Repeat the numbers, 2020 CR what?
5196.
All right. Ms. Kramer, is that the agreement that you reached?
It is, Judge.
All right, I may have missed something, but I'll depend on you all to correct it or to add it. Mr. Lozoya, you are granted 12 months deferred adjudication. You will perform 30 hours of community service restitution. You will pay a one-time donation or fee to Crime Stoppers of $50. You will submit monthly UAs for analysis. You will complete a gun safety course. Now, what followed that? I know that there's a concurrent with 2020, but what's the
And
subject?
there's forfeiture of the weapon,
There it
Judge.
is. Forfeit the weapon. Mr. Lozoya, what kind of weapon are we talking about?
Oh, I'm not too sure what it was. Oh,
Apparently, you're not a sportsman that loves guns.
oh,
And Judge, I took this case over from Amy Owen, so I could do the plea for him. She's actually the one that worked out this plea bargain, so I do not know myself.
Okay, well, then nobody is in love with a gun themselves and wants it instead of attorney's fees, so. All right, then I will order the forfeiture of the weapon. This deferred adjudication will run concurrent with the probation under case number 2020 CR 5196.
And Judge, I didn't hear it, but there was a TIC of his drug case.
I did not pronounce it, nor did I hear it either. Tell
Yeah,
me
it's part
about
of
that.
it's part of the plea bargain to dismiss 639620, which is a possession controlled substance penalty group 3, TIC it in exchange for the plea on the UCW to run concurrent with the felony.
Okay, well, what's the case number again?
639620.
639620.
Yeah, that was the deal Amy
Obviously,
made
as
with,
an officer of the court, I expect that is accurate.
Yes,
So I
Judge.
will, case number 639620 is taken into consideration and dismissed.
thank you, Judge.
Mr. Lozoya, how do you make a living, sir?
like what I do to,
Yeah, well, where do you work? What do you do? How much do you make?
right now I don't have a job.
How long have you
'Cause-
been without a job?
About 2 months, but it's because I was working with my uncle, but I couldn't go out of San Antonio, and he would usually go to like Floresville, Seguin.
Okay,
some-
if you go back to work Monday, how much will you be making every month?
Around like 2,400. 2,400.
All right. Do you have any children that you have to support?
Yes.
How many have you got?
Three.
How many?
3.
3 of them.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to set your supervisory fee. Well, do you actually support them? Do you live with them, or what's going on there?
Well, they don't stay with me, but I still get them like shoes, clothes, or give their mom money for whatever they need. And then one stays with me. 2 of them don't, and then one stays with me.
All right, I'm going to make your supervisory fee $25 a month. That's the lowest we can do.
Okay.
I'm going to add one thing to your conditions, Ms. Kramer. I'm going to ask you as an officer of the court to try and get this done. How old are you, Mr. Lozoya?
21.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to order you and ask Ms. Kramer to assist. I want you to go through a positive parenting course, Okay, Ms. Kramer?
Yes, Judge.
I want you to as an officer of this court, I want you to try and arrange that. I think it would be very important for this young man who's already fathered 3 children to go through a course like that. Perhaps it may have a good impact on him and the children that he fathers.
And Judge, I have not known Mr. Lozoya long. I got appointed on this just last week, but having dealt with him, I think, and he's a very nice boy, but I would think it would be good if that's what you wanted. I don't know if probation officer offers parenting classes, but if it were made an order, because he's done okay on his felony deferred so far. I think when he's actually ordered to do something, he does it. I think if it was just me asking him to go into a parenting class, that
No.
might.
Don't
falter.
misunderstand. Don't misunderstand. It is an order of the court
Okay.
that he undergoes that. My
Okay.
request was asking you to help us out or facilitate it. However, maybe it's more appropriate that the probation department does it. Either way.
I mean, I can certainly Google parenting classes. I just wanted to make sure it was a court order because I'm not sure I would be
It
able to get
is.
it done if it
It
wasn't.
is.
Okay.
It is court ordered. Now,
Okay.
incidentally, Mr. Lozoya,
Yeah.
if you do in good faith the positive parenting or a good parenting course, and I expect the probation office will have access to it, I will give you credit for the community service restitution hours, the 30 hours, if you complete the whole course and do it right, okay?
Okay.
I think it'll be very helpful for you and for your children, because very simply, the life they're gonna have depends on the love and caring they get from their mother and father and the example that they get from them. Hopefully this can give you some good ideas on how to do that, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you. You and your
And-
family have a good Thanksgiving. Suzanne, have a
Yes.
great Thanksgiving. You take good care.
You too, Judge. And just one more question before we leave. Is he going to go in and talk with Miss Luna for further instructions?
Yes, absolutely. You have to.
Thank you. And I'll go into that breakout room with him, please, Judge.
All right, you have to visit with Maricela's here.
I'm
Yes.
here, Judge.
All right, Mr. Lozoya, you have to visit with Ms. Maricela Luna. She will put you on the path for the probation. You heard what I had to say about the parenting course, Ms. Luna?
Yes, Your Honor, probation actually has a list of parenting courses that Mr. Longoria can take. So
Well,
he'll be provided with that list.
I would ask you and Ms. Kramer to particularly pay attention to this and see what we can do for this young man. And
Thank
you need to, Mr. Lozoya, within 8 days, you need to come by this office, the court, County Court 5 offices, to put your thumbprint on the legal papers that required, okay?
And I'll
Okay.
make sure that he does. Well, I'll do my best to make sure that he does that. He's good at showing up when you tell him to show up.
All
Well,
right,
I could probably go today.
that's